It's Zach at Feel Free to Argue, and just wanted to talk to you. I think this is going to be a short video, but I never know when I'm starting out. A lot of times I say I'm going to be talking for a short amount of time, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's 10 minutes. This morning, my daughter got upset about wanting to throw out some styrofoam, and she had been playing with it, and just this morning she was impressed by the fact she could take this huge piece of styrofoam and break it. I guess it made her feel pretty mighty. But we had to have a conversation with her, that it's nice that she had fun with the styrofoam, and but it's trash, and so our house doesn't fill up with things like styrofoam. We need to have the capability to throw them away. And that led to some, actually got all the way to tears and everything. She had grown rather attached to the styrofoam. But I started thinking, as I often do, of these things in a larger context. And it played very much into a concern that I'd been having. It's something I talked to Matt about, and talked to other people about. And I think we're very ill prepared for what's coming. I mean, I honestly think there's going to be a crash. It's going to be a serious crash. It's going to be a depression. It's not going to be a recession that we can skate through. I always like the operating definition that it's a recession when your neighbor loses their job, and it's a depression when you lose your job. I think that speaks to the way people perceive these things. But I also think about the fact that we live in a society that's largely dominated by luxury problems. I mean, I think about the problems that I typically have with my kids, trying to convince them, to eat one thing, to try it, to make something else for them if they don't like it. And I've been thinking more and more that, in some place like, Darfur, there's no question that you eat everything that's put in front of you. I mean, it's a good day when something is put in front of you. And you think about how much of the world lives on, less than $2 a day. What is it, a third of the world? A third of the world's people. It's astonishing. So I think in this country, one of the things that's about to happen is we're going to find out what life is really like, meaning what life is like in the rest of the world that isn't protected by our plunder. This may end up being a useful thing, but I also worry that because of our lack of preparation, because there aren't people like me who are really thinking about what's going on, and who are making these kind of philosophical decisions already. Like, when I look around at my home, I am honestly, and I've thought about this a lot, I'm honestly prepared to lose everything over the course of the next couple of years. If I get through the next couple of years and I don't starve to death, and I have a roof for my kids and for myself, I will consider myself profoundly fortunate. I don't know how you people feel, but I think most people think that the future is going to be substantially like it is now. Maybe they'll have to give up on going out to dinner once a week, or they won't be able to put that addition on their home, or maybe they'll even have to get a more modest home. But I don't think people are thinking as radically as they need to. I don't think people's expectations are in line with what is likely to happen. Now, maybe I'm a doomsayer. Maybe I'm completely wrong about all this stuff. Maybe, the stimulus package is exactly what we need. Maybe, these credit default swaps and other bizarre financial instruments are not going to bring the entire world economy to collapse. I suppose that's possible. I mean, I'm not an economic genius. I may be wrong about this stuff. But all I could say is I'm looking at it and I don't see it. Or rather, I do see it. I do see the collapse coming. And I think it's time for people to start thinking about what's important. If you can only save one or two things, what will those things be? Who can you really count on, rely on, trust? And how many of your problems are luxury problems? Love of Styrofoam. Just some stuff to mull over. I know this is not my usual type of video. I'm just trying to get people to think a bit about these things. Anyway, this is Zach Elliott at Feel Free to Argue. Be good to yourself. Be good to your neighbors. Think about the future and what you want it to be, what you think it can be. That's all for now.